Hello, hello. How are you all? Oh, I got the glasses on. Yeah, you hit 50 and you got to wear the glasses. So, anyways, we are going to talk residential real estate project management. What does that really look like? And why would you want to do it? Right? And that's from the perspective of just like, hey, I want to go ahead and develop my house rather than buy another house, right? I want to grow my current residence from either the ground up or just, um, add on to it. I personally did an addition and I absolutely loved every aspect of it. Not everybody likes it though. So first and foremost, what is the definition of residential real estate? Turn 50, at least this lady needs glasses now. So according to shareestatescon.com, they say any properties with fewer than 5 units, none of which are for commercial real estate, commercial use. So what is residential real estate? Real estate is property, both land and buildings, used for housing. That's what it is. Strictly for housing purposes, right? That is exactly what it is. And what do I usually do? I usually have clients sell real estate. And in the middle of all that selling, a lot of them want to do this. They want to improve their real estate so that it sells for more. I love that idea. It's a win-win for everyone. Because remember, I get paid on a percentage as well. So if I sell your house for more money, well, then I win, you win, everyone wins. The economy wins. Everyone does better when your house is in better condition. So is it worth it? Yeah, it is, depending on what you do and how much you spend and where you are in the timeline for the process, right? So let's get into it, right? Stages of the residential real estate development planning. So, say you're like, hey, Lori, I want to sell my house. I want to do some improvements first. That's the planning phase, guys. That's where we talk about it and we go, what should we do? What will we do? Can we do it? Does it make sense? Is it allowable? That comes back to zoning laws and regulations. Is it possible? Is it plausible? Right? All of that matters. And then we move right into where's the money coming from to be able to do this? How can I do this? Do I have the finances available to do it? You sure do. There's lots of options out there for the financial aspect of it. I have a lot of clients who actually they borrow money personally from me, like I'm a credit card for them. And yes, I do charge interest. And we let them improve the property and they pay me back at the close of escrow. It's very, very doable. Also, you could use your own credit card. There's a lot of great lenders out there who offer home equity lines of credit or just offer construction loans. They're great options. I know right now we have a lender we're working with right now that has, I think the project was like some kind of interesting loan, big box loan program or something like that. It's all made and geared towards you improving your property, right? So, where's the money going to come from? If you don't have it in the bank, from someone else. Do you qualify is a whole nother story, right? And then you go, okay, great. I got the money. I can make it happen. Now you got to put together the design and have it approved, right? That's the architectural design. And then, of course, the permits that are going to need to be taken. And yes, you must get permits. Okay, sure, you can do projects where you can add square footage or you can build from the ground up and say you're like, hey, I don't want to get any project. I don't want to get any permits. I don't want to deal with the city. I don't want to this. I don't want to that. Your agent here is not going to recommend it if you're adding square footage at all, because then that square footage doesn't count in the resale of your property. So we want to make sure we're pulling permits. And permits are required for about anything you do to your property. And the zoning ordinances and the laws related to that are all found down at your local city hall in the housing and building area. So I encourage you to get right on over there and talk with them and find out, okay, great. I want to put another bathroom in. Yes, get it permitted. It's worth it. When I added 400 square feet to my property, I got it completely permitted. It was a beautiful thing, and I really enjoyed the entire process. Some people say cities are so difficult. Now, I'm going to say, yeah, there's plenty of cities out there that probably are difficult, but they're only as difficult as you allow it to be. So remember that, right? Anything and everything is only as difficult as you personally allow it to be. It's all in your perspective, right? Anyone can be difficult if you believe they're difficult, and anyone could be fantastic if you just say, you know what, they're having a bad day, and I'm sorry for them, but I'm still having an amazing day. That's how I look at life, anyways. Right? So you're going to need to get architectural design, get a fantastic architect that can do the work, put it together. We had friends that were in the architecture business, and they designed my 400 square feet. What we ended up doing was we added 400 square feet to our house. We moved our kitchen, we moved a bedroom, we moved an entire 2 walls, extended the house by 400 square feet. We did that in the winter when it was raining. We had to add on to the rooftop. Oh, it was such an experience. And we lived in the house while we were doing it. I would highly encourage you not to do what I did. And, I learned, I loved it. I self managed the project from start to finish because I know all the people in the business. It's just what I do well. I know foundation guys, I know contractors, I know flooring guys, I know drywall guys, I know the roofer. Like, it was just a great experience for me. And it's really helped me in my real estate business, helping all my clients move their projects forward, right? So moving on to the construction aspect of it, which is what we're talking about here, the construction phases, groundbreaking, building inspections, building it all together. Oh, let me tell you, while I was living in the mess, they were hammering, drilling, banging. Oh my gosh. It was like boom, boom, boom. And if you work from home, well, don't work from home because it doesn't work. Oh my goodness. It was a crazy experience. I'll tell you, my kids, we did it in October, so it was raining like crazy. And what did we have for the wall? Well, the contractor, he had torn out the wall. We put the steel beams in because we had moved a load bearing wall. People say, oh, can you move a load bearing wall? You can do anything as long as you do it correctly and you do it with the right product, right? And everything costs money. So I always love when people ask that question because you sure can. Anyways, we did move our load bearing wall. It was literally the outside of our house. We extended it out. And so we covered the walls while it was extended with plastic sheeting. And it was pouring rain. Our boys were all little then. They're all adults now. And they work for me primarily. Oh, they were crying, Mommy, I'm so afraid. It's so scary and cold. And I just told boys it's like camping. It's just like they didn't buy it. They didn't like it. So again, I'm gonna say you probably do not want to live in the mess. I did not enjoy living in the mess. And if I didn't, I know my darn kids really didn't, because they whined and cried. It's hard work doing a renovation of any sort. Give me a comment down below and tell me how yours was, you know? So there's the construction phases, right? The ground breaking. Oh, I remember when my contractor showed up, because I had one contractor that I made responsible for everything in this area, which was the foundation, the framing, right? Those were the two areas that I needed to be especially sound. So my general contractor that I handled for that aspect of the project, he handled the foundation and the framing. He wanted the whole project. I didn't let him have it. And it really frustrated him that I didn't. I was super happy about it. Anyways, I told him when he walked in that door, I said, you know, if I feel any change in elevation, you're going to do it again, because it is not okay with me. I'm that agent that walks in, and when I show properties, I go, oh, what's going on with the floor? Like, you can feel elevation change if you just walk soft enough and you're just quiet for a moment. And my contractor, Rockstar, no elevation change at all. Our flooring was spot on. I was so thrilled. And he even commented, and so did the city inspector when they came out, that my foundation was strong enough in that area to support a second story. So I love that. Make sure your architect knows what they're doing, they're experienced in the area, and they're going to talk with you in a way that you understand. So important. And then they get the permits that are necessary, and get all the appropriate government approvals so you can move forward. I remember the neighbors across the street, they were getting a new roof put on, and the city came out and red tagged them because their roofer forgot to get the appropriate permits. Get the permits, guys. It's, you want them. You want the city inspector to come by. You really do. You really do. You want them to come and check it out and make sure that the property is in good, sound condition. And the city inspector is going to be able to help you with that as well. I saw the city inspector as my partner, not someone I had to like get by, sneak by, right? I saw him as my partner. He was there to help make sure my property was safe and done correctly, right? He was just another accountability partner to me. So it worked well for me. Then we move right on into uh, now we're going to sell, right? Sales and marketing. Well, that's why you hire your agent to sell the property. But say you're keeping it like I did. I kept mine. I did my renovation. I added my 400 square feet, and I didn't want to sell it, right? It worked for me. And if you are going to sell it, you don't want to design the home for you per se. You want to design the house with your future buyers in mind, which is just keep it neutral, keep it spacey, keep it bright, keep it open, lots of windows, lots of light. Let me tell you, putting those canned lights in, so expensive, one by one by one. Don't ever do that. I paid the contractor by each light. Don't do that. Man, that adds up. Okay, and we put a lot of lights in because we like light. All right, so sales and marketing strategies. Talk to your agent about the different types of marketing strategies that are out there. There are so many different strategies available to you. I have 4 that I commonly go over with my sellers when we're selling their property. And then we move right into what that sales process actually looks like and who is the target market for your property. Who's going to buy it? If it's a small condo, it's probably going to be a young kid just getting started, potentially an investor who needs a rental property, or maybe a single man or woman who just wants a little bit of space to call home, right? It just depends on what the product is. So you want to know who is the target market. And then we move right into then who are the key players that you need when doing this project, right? You're going to need a developer, you're going to need an architect or potential designer, interior designer. We've got great referrals in all areas for this. Potential construction companies, someone who's going to maybe do the roof, do the plumbing, do the HVAC, right? All of that. And then, of course, a fantastic real estate agent, broker, foundation, a real estate company to help you get it taken care of. Someone knows how to market that property. And then, of course, the lender, the person who's providing the funds to do the job. And then you're going to get right into the trends in the residential real estate development, right? You want to make sure that you're using sustainable products. Anytime you can incorporate green building practices in it, you'd want to do that as well. And then all the smart home technology is so important these days. And then you want to be aware of the changing demographic demands, right? The population, the aging population. I was doing the research the other day, and in 2040, our number one challenge in 2040 for real estate is the lack of senior housing. So think about that as you're aging in the house, aging in the home. Are you making your house something that can grow with you and your family, right? So important. It's going to be our number one challenge in 2040 is senior housing and being able to take care of our older generation. And then, of course, you want to know the difference between urban versus suburban development, right? What does that look like? How does it impact the development of the project you're working on? So important. And how do you know that stuff? Well, you interview the right people in every area that you want to consider something. You know, if you're going to interview your great real estate agent, like, okay, I'm going to do this project and I want to know that once I get it done, you're going to be able to sell it, Lori. Right on. We want that. We want to talk with you about that. That's so important. Interview your interior designer, your architect, all of it, right? You want to make sure it makes sense. I'm just going to add to this that, you know, as you're developing real estate, as you're considering renovating and preparing a house for market, you really, really want to focus in on who the property is for, because you're releasing it to the people that are most interested in living in it for, on average, 5 to 7 years. That's what we're finding right now, is that people are staying in their homes for 5 to 7 years. And then maybe you just say, you know what, Lori, this is crazy. I just want to sell my house as is. I just don't want to do the renovations. Then you should listen to episode 150 on the podcast. It's all about selling as is.